Djay Pro's new 5.0 update gave us so many new features and settings, and in this video I'm going to show you which settings I'm currently using and why, and you can decide if it's good for your style of DJing. For this video I am only going to go through the actual settings in the settings menu. I'm not going to go through the hidden drop down menus. I'll do that in another video that's actually on the DJ screen. Let's press the middle button. You're probably going to be in the modes. That's where it starts you, and this is where you could change your view modes. So to go to your settings, we are going to go to this third one over, settings. And then I'm just going to go down the list of each of these settings categories and show you what I'm using. So in general, turn off start playback. What this does is as soon as you load up a song, it starts playing, which is going to mess up your mixes and be really frustrating. So if you're new to the app and you're getting frustrated with that, that is how you turn it off. Turn off start playback. I don't know why anyone would want to have that on, but it usually starts it with that on, so turn that off immediately. Next is protect active deck. So if a track is playing and if the crossfader is engaged, so if that track is going to be making noise, then you will get this notification. It says the deck is protected. Do you want to proceed? So it protects you from ejecting or changing the track on a deck that's playing, and it prevents you from doing one of the worst DJ mistakes, which is a tomato, when all the music just stops and everyone stares at you. So I would leave that on. It's just an extra safety measure so we don't mess up. My tempo range, I keep it at 25 because I found that at 8, 10, even 16, you just don't have enough range. I like to do big BPM transfers and transitions, so I found that 25% is perfect. 75% makes it really hard to adjust because you're still using the same amount of space on your slider. It just does more with less. So 50 and 75 was a little bit too high and a little bit too sensitive, and it was really hard to dial in the exact BPMs. So I would highly recommend 25%. Start time, stop time. These might be like 0.3, 0.5 seconds. I recommend keeping it at 0. What this does is it's the amount of time the track speeds up. Just like if you were using a real turntable, it'll take time to speed up and to slow down. The only time I use this is if I'm doing a big BPM to a small BPM transition, and then I'll change the stop time to something really high. When you press pause, you get a sound like this. And it sounds really cool, and then you could go to a lower BPM. So that's the only time that I will have the stop time on, and then I always keep the start time off because it's really annoying when you're trying to load a song and it's like powering up. Definitely keep your effects on post fader, so you can do echo outs, and once the song is stopped playing, you'll still hear the effect. I don't know why anyone would keep it on pre-fader, but you could change it that way. Audio limiter, just keep it on so you don't break someone's speakers. If you're on a really expensive sound system or something, you could damage their speakers if you are redlining. So this just is another added level of protection. Auto gain. If you're using Djay Pro, you're not going to be adjusting the gain manually. I know every other DJ software and DJ controllers and CDJs and pretty much every other way of DJing, the gain is a really important way. It raises the whole level of the volume on that deck. It's not a volume control, but it will make this song louder. And this app has a really good auto gain feature where it'll have both songs playing at the same volume, and it works perfectly almost every time. And the only way to change the gain is this tiny little slider here. So it's kind of like the app doesn't even want you to adjust it because the auto gain is so good. If you're using this app, especially with just the iPad or a controller, a smaller controller that doesn't have a gain control, keep the auto gain on. It works amazingly. Pre-queuing, again, this is like the auto gain. This app has a great pre-queuing feature. So basically, if you move the crossfader to the right, you could hear out of the left deck on your headphone. If you move the crossfader to the left, you could hear the headphones in the right. It does it automatically. And some controllers, like the Numark DJ2Go2 Touch, have buttons for that, and they don't have that much buttons on the whole controller. So if you have a controller with buttons to select the pre-queuing, use those for effects, map them as something else. I made a lot of videos teaching you guys how to map controllers with this app, so I would highly recommend mapping it. Appearance. So look at this deck over here. If we turn it off, so look at this deck on the left. If you turn it off, the album art is in the middle. And if you turn it on, the album art is the whole record. I just think it looks really cool, so I keep it on the full artwork, but it is MIDI devices. Crossfader cutting mode. If you're using a controller, I recommend keeping crossfader cutting mode on. What it does is as soon as you move the crossfader a little bit, it will cut it to the middle, cut it to the left. It makes scratching so much easier. And then also, if you're wondering if a controller works with if a controller works with the app that has a mapping for it, you could press this button over here, supported DJ controllers, and it shows you a list. And then if you press view all supported controllers, it brings you to the website and it shows you even more. So if you guys want to learn how to map controllers, check out this video over here. Thank you.